Okay, hi, I hope you can see me. I have an idea. So I'm going to actually do what time is it now? It is now 3:30-ish. I'm going to do two videos. I'm going to do one video exactly like I were teaching my class. Then I'm going to do another one like I'm teaching this MAT class. And in the second one I'll teach you about my topic. But in the first one, I'm just going to give you a demo of how I would do it with my students. But first, sorry, I don't have a printer here, so I have to read off my MacBook. So today, my strategy is the concept map. And I'm specifically going to talk about thinking maps, which could be perhaps considered a subcategory of concept map, or maybe just another type of concept map. Thinking maps are used in primary education, so they're excellent. Okay, so description. What is a concept map or a thinking map? It's a diagram that depicts relationships between concepts. It's a type of graphic organizer, and a thinking map is a graphic organizer used specifically for primary education, although I think it could be used for just about anything. So who designed it? I think concept maps were developed by Joseph Novak and his research team at Cornell University. This type, the thinking maps that we're going to do, were developed by Albert Upton in the 60s. What's the purpose of a thinking map or a concept map? To help students see connections and organize ideas for deeper understanding. It gives them, or as Innovative Learning says about theirs, it gives them a common visual language. They can be used for assessment, for note-taking, I use them in my classroom to help students really get concepts. They're great. Once you start to use them, you'll love them. So benefits, lots of benefits. They really help students organize information, see connections, see cause and effect. From the literature, they can be used to help students grasp cause and effects, flowcharts, defining in context, comparing and contrasting. They're great assessments tools, sequences. They're excellent. So target, who are they best for? These thinking maps are targeted for primary school students, but I think anybody could benefit from them. What do you need? They're amazing. All you need is pencil and paper, and you need to give students the skills to use them. But once you teach students how to use them, they get pencil and paper and they can do this. Or you can give them handouts. I usually let them draw them themselves because our school has a low budget for me printing a lot of stuff, so they can do it. How long does it take to do a thinking map? Well, it depends on how you want to use it. They can be done really quickly, like for note-taking. I've actually given assignments with thinking maps where it might take them a whole class period, using a thinking map, working in groups, doing some research. You can adapt them any way you want to. They are amazing. Frequency, how often? You can do it as often as you like. I do them pretty much every day, which isn't really true because like any technique, after a while your students get sick of them no matter how cool they are. So I do them every day, but then I do other stuff instead, and then I'll come back to them. So how do you do it? It depends on which map you're using. There's thinking maps from Innovative Learning. They have 8 different types. So first, you got to teach the kids the basic concept, and then different types of maps can be used for different applications, and students need to know that. Once they practice and they have the skills, they can choose whichever map fits their application best. What's out there to help you? All kinds of stuff. You can Google thinking maps, concept maps. You'll find tons of stuff on the internet. You could ask me. Innovative Learning is the company that my school district uses their system for our district trainings, which is what I was trained in. So lots of stuff. Okay, any questions? Right. So I'm just going to pretend like you were my students. And so you just walked into class now. Thursday, week 2 of diseases. Welcome. Today, viruses, microbes, disease, and prevention. Oh my. Like lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, get it? Okay. Objectives for today. We will learn about different types of microbes, like viruses, protists, and bacteria, the different types of each one of these, the diseases they cause, the prevention of these diseases, and we will make a tree map. Whoop, whoop. Now, of course, I've already taught my students these maps, so red alert! My homeroom students, please return your report cards ASAP. Ow! That's real life. Today, Thursdays, tasty treats. Coming soon to a person near you. Disease. That's the PowerPoint and video we'll watch. We will create thinking maps based on that. And viruses at work and play. Flu attack. Exit ticket, your passport to freedom. So, show me your homework. Good work. You're all succeeding. See, I actually go around and see them. Yeah. Okay, watch, listen, and take notes. Coming soon to a person near you. Bam! So I show them this video, and they'll take notes. They can even use graphic organizers or thinking maps or concept maps to take notes, because they already know how to do them, like you will know in a minute when I teach you. Okay, so this is an example. Viruses. Examples of viruses that students can fill in here. Prevention. And once again, this is a tree map. Students can fill this in. Symptoms. This would work, and they can keep going. Although, you see, I take a little issue with this particular one, with this particular tree map. But that would work, and that would be great. We're talking about viruses. These are the different kinds. But we could do the same thing with protists. Or microbes, which is a more generic topic. So, types of microbes, protists, viruses. But it got kind of crazy. Actually, one of my students did this because I had horrible handwriting. So this is more what this tree map would look like and be kind of functional if you had neater handwriting than I do. So microbes is our topic, right? So what are the types of microbes? Protists, bacteria, and viruses. So this really helps students to visualize this, right? It's much better than just telling them and having them write notes. They really see it. And if I had neat handwriting, it would be so much better, which is why I usually have students come up and write on the board for me. But I draw good pictures, and they like that. Okay, so protists, bacteria, viruses, the types of microbes. So what are some examples of protists? Histolytica, which I've had in South America. Plasmodium, usually I have a lot of stories to tell my students because I've experienced some things. So Histolytica is a type. Plasmodium is another type of protist. Of course, we already would have talked about what a protist is. And Histolytica, a symptom is severe diarrhea. You have no idea just how severe. Plasmodium causes malaria, which gives you fever and flu-like symptoms. Okay, so one type of microbe is a protist. Two types of protist are Histolytica and Plasmodium. The symptoms of Histolytica, severe diarrhea. The symptoms of Plasmodium, well, you get malaria. You get fever and chills, and it's a bummer. I haven't had that, but I kind of had. Now, another type of microbe is a bacteria. And bacteria are everywhere. Billions and billions and billions, good ones and bad ones. Not that we're judging bacteria, but some of them make us sick and ill and can kill us. And we need others in our stomach, for example, in our gut, in order to digest food and live. Bacteria are legion on this planet. So, what are a couple types? Well, we've talked about this before, because we're in week 2 of diseases. There's Streptococcus, is one type of bacteria, which causes strep throat. And there's tuberculosis, which causes a respiratory infection. So, types of microbes, we've talked about protists, talked about bacteria. Now let's talk about viruses, because viruses are crazy, especially the ones that look like little spaceships. I know, it's amazing. So one type of a virus is AIDS, and another type is the flu, right? AIDS is immune system. It compromises your immune system. It can be deadly. The flu, the symptoms of flu are headache and fever. I could tell you symptoms of AIDS, but you don't need to. Headache and fever. So, prevention. Now, because prevention for all of these is pretty much similar, instead of having this go out on our tree, we're sort of going to go on a reverse tree now. Because the prevention for microbes in general is wash your hands a lot. You can wash your hands with hot water and soap and sing the happy birthday song, happy birthday to me, and that's about how long you should do it. Keep surfaces clean. So, you can use disinfectant, and if you come into class and, the person before you sneezed all over their desk and just, what 8th graders, clean it. Prepare food properly. That's right, don't eat raw food or, rice is the perfect medium for bacteria. If you cook rice and then leave it out in a warm climate and come back a few hours later to eat it, it's crawling with bacteria. So cook your food properly, which means heat it until microbes have been killed. You can use a thermometer for chicken or meat. Pizza's safe. Get immunizations. You can get immunized for flu and other things like that. And of course, you can take antibiotics for bacteria. Remember, antibiotics are only for bacteria. They will not help with viruses. So that's a little bit about this. Remember at the same time that it's also probably good to get exposed to bacteria, like when kids eat dirt or when you're out playing. That's good because if you really don't allow yourself to get exposed to microbes, then your immune system is not going to be able to deal with them. So the truth is, probably it's perfectly fine for you to be running around and getting dirty, eating dirt, touching stuff. We just happen to be living in a phase in our society where people are germaphobes. But really, getting contact with microbes is probably really good for your immune system. It's true though. Now, another example. So these are different classes of my kids that actually did this, or that I did it for. So that's it. Yeah, so thank you very much. Now I'm going to do another one and actually teach. Can you see me? I'm going to do another one and actually teach you how to do thinking maps. Okay.